everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today is my Yarny Catchup video where I talk about the items that I've been working on for the last week. So today I have a finished object to show you as well as a works in progress that I'm working on, and I just have the one item. I did finish something else, which is the wreath for my Hooked on Wreaths collaboration that I'm doing with Rebecca over at Yarn and Pajamas, and I will link the playlist for that below, but I will not be showing or talking about that today. I'm just going to talk about my other stuff, so I have one finished object to show and one WIP. So let's start with the finished object. So this one is very appropriate for today because today is St. Patrick's Day, and I did finish my St. Patrick's Day gnome. I'm calling him done. He's not completely done, and I probably will never completely finish him because I'm happy with him the way he is, but he's not quite as I intended to do him in the first place. So let me start out by talking about this pattern. The Passionate Crafter is doing a gnome along for 2023, and she released 2 gnomes for the month of March. She released the St. Patrick's Day man gnome as well as the female gnome, and a pot of gold, as well as she's got a shamrock decal thing. So she released those to do with the gnome along this month, and I will insert a picture here of what hers look like. And I decided to do the man gnome. I figured I would do the female one if I had time or I got around to it, and I didn't, so this is all I have to show. So I really like his beard. I like the beard that she did, and the beard is done the way that she suggested to do it in her pattern. I followed mostly the man gnome pattern. His body is done his way, his beard's done his way. I did add an extra round to the nose because I do like big noses. In her pattern, he has thumbs. I did not bother putting thumbs on him. I found when I do thumbs, the reason why I didn't do them is because your spot where you change from the skin color to the shirt color, which in this case is green, then because you don't make like a left arm and a right arm, you make your both arms the same way. So then when you sew them on, you end up with one side that the join shows, whereas this way I've sewn his arms on with a join at the back. So that's the reason why I didn't do thumbs. I don't have an issue with whether he does or doesn't. I don't know if gnomes are supposed to have thumbs. I have no idea. It doesn't matter to me. I just didn't do them. So, and for his hat, basically I did the female version of the hat, except for I added an extra round of the black so that I could do the larger buckle because I liked the buckle that was on the male gnome. There he is. He's all finished. Oh, and I did a round of simple stitch on the bottom. But he's all done, and I think he's really cute. I did glue a piece of cardboard in the top of his hat to help it keep its shape. It was shaping pretty good, and it was kind of holding on its own, but it did kind of want to dip in a bit. So I did glue a piece of cardboard in the top just to keep it nice and firm. So I think he's really cute. She does a very well written pattern, and I really enjoyed making him. And he is using my usual Sheepy's Katona for him. I used a 2.75 millimeter hook. The colors that I used, sorry, getting my notes here. So his hat, this dark green, is color number 515, which is emerald. The lighter green that I used on his body, this is 513, which is apple granny. His beard is royal orange, color number 189. The belt on his hat is color number 110, which is jet black. His nose and his hands are color number 255, which is shell. And the buckle is color number 208, which is yellow gold. So that is my finished object. And the only other thing that I've been working on is I decided that I wanted to make a shrug a little bit different than some patterns that I was finding online. So I'm kind of doing my own thing. We'll see whether or not it works. It might not, so I'm not going to talk about it too much just in case it doesn't work. But this is what I have so far, is one sleeve, which they're kind of, I guess you call them a batwing sleeve. And that's all I've really done so far. So that's folded in half right now. I need to sew it together. But that's all I've worked on so far. I did start the second sleeve, and the yarn that I'm using for this is, I love this yarn in the color cranberry. I have a whole bunch of this. If you haven't watched me before, I live in Southern Ontario, Canada, and Hobby Lobby does not ship direct to us here. I did order from Hobby Lobby, and I used a company that brings your US package across the border into Canada for you, and I talked all about that in another video. But when I bought the yarn, I don't know what I was doing. I was not paying attention, but I had already put a bunch of items on my cart at Hobby Lobby another day, and then the day that I put my order in, I had written down what I wanted, and so I added all those items to my cart, and I guess I wasn't paying attention because the original stuff I had in my cart from the previous time, they were already in my cart. So I ended up that instead of ordering, I think I intended to order 4 skeins of the cranberry. Instead, I ended up with something like 8 because it doubled up. There was also a couple other items that ended up doubled up as well, and it was not intentional, but whatever. I should have been paying more attention. It's my own fault. So that's all I've really been working on the last week. Other stuff that I've been doing, work. Spent way too much time playing games on my phone. So that's kind of the other thing I wanted to talk about. I waste a lot of time playing games on my phone. I tend to get up in the morning, and while I'm having my coffee, I got into this stupid game, and I play for half an hour to an hour in the morning before I start work while I have my coffee, and then I play again after supper or just before supper if supper's something that, you know, kind of cooks and you don't have to do anything, or if my husband's volunteering to cook that day, I might then. But I usually play again for like an hour or sometimes 2 hours in the evening. And it's been taking a lot of my time lately, and it's turning into a really bad habit. So my phone is one of those phones that tells you how many hours you spent playing on your phone and doing things on your phone, and the hours are a lot. So, you know, in terms of productivity and getting things done and stuff like that, it's really kicking into that time. And so I think today I'm going to uninstall my game apps from my phone, and for some reason that's giving me anxiety and making me all weird, and I don't know why, but it is. I don't know. So, but that is something that I want to do today, is to uninstall all my game apps from my phone, or at least most of them, the ones that I spend too much time playing. I might leave a couple of the games that I spend less time on. I might leave 1 or 2 of them just in case I'm out somewhere and I need to, you know, and you're waiting and you don't have anything to do while you're waiting, then at least I have something to do while I'm waiting. So, because I don't bring my crochet with me absolutely everywhere I go. So like if I go to, say, pick up my daughter from school, normally I wouldn't have to wait, but in case I do have to wait for 15 minutes for her in the parking lot, I have something to do while I wait. But yeah, that is my thing I want to do today, is uninstall my games from my phone. And what else been up to? Really strange. I got into watching 2 different people who do van life, and they live out of their van. One of them, well, they actually both live in colder regions right now. The one of them is trying to get somewhere warmer. But I just find it so opposite. You know, as yarn people, we have yarn and we hoard our yarn, and it's, You know, some of us have yarn rooms and all these type of things. Whereas these people who do van life, they're basically minimalists and they have nothing. They don't have any personal possessions, hardly at all. And to them, the idea of hoarding all this yarn is probably absolutely crazy to them. Van life doesn't seem completely crazy to me, except for getting rid of all my possessions. That part, the minimalist part, I would have trouble with. But anyway, so let's stop talking about all this silliness. Just focus on the crochet, and I guess that's it that I'm going to talk about for today. My next video I'm going to actually record right now, which will release on Monday, which is the final video for the Hooked on Wreath Spring Edition. And yeah, so that's it for now. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye, everyone.